now number 4 on our list, the Phoenix Suns, who had, I think, as big an offseason as humanly possible in terms of all the moves they made. So what if there's a way to kind of assess everything that they did? I mean, I still think it's kind of a gamble. But I understand a new owner being impatient. I mean, I don't like it, but that's what new owners are. They're impatient. They, by their nature, they tend to be impatient. So Matt Ishbia came in. He blew out Monty Williams. They traded half of their team in various moves over the summer. They brought in Bradley Beal. They got rid of Ayton. But I think it's interesting. I think it's very interesting. I like Nurkic. I don't know how you can count on a guy that gets hurt a lot. I think that's a problem. That to me is the question mark for the Phoenix Suns. And that's KD too, and all their guys that have had in the last few years some pretty serious injuries.
That's where Grayson Allen went, right?
Yes, that's where Grayson Allen.
Okay,
yeah. Their bench is actually fascinating to me.
When this all went down, I was like, they don't have a bench. They have 4 dudes in like a YMCA squad. But now they've got like, they might be too deep.
What they did in terms of with no money, essentially, to build the bench out that they have built. I mean, I love what they did with very limited funds. They brought in Eric Gordon. They brought in a guy that I really like from the Nets, Yuta Watanabe, who was just
who pretty much doesn't miss from the corner.
Doesn't miss, Josh Okogie. They brought in Bol. Now, I'm not saying all these guys are going to pan out. You know what I'm saying? But their bench, they brought in Keita Bates-Diop. So
they got Nasir Little from Portland. They
Nasir
got
Little.
Chimezie Metu. They got a bunch of, it's like playing spades.
They got a bunch of
2
pros.
books in the possibles. They got a bunch of possibles.
Yeah.
Right? If you got enough of them, hey, a couple of these dudes pan out, that's all you really need.
That's all you need.
Get a couple of good seasons. Yeah, you good.
Right. And their guys are not, and you can trade any of those guys at any moment. You can package 3 or 4 of them if you want. If you want one more good to very good player to add to your group, none of these guys are making a lot of money. I just thought they did a great job of roster construction with not many resources.
Here's what I really I have questions about this Phoenix squad.
I'm not saying it's going to work,
but here's why I like it, because this thing all boils down to 2 players having to play at an all-world level, and they're essentially their reputations are on the line. Devin Booker and Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, those are some pretty good dudes to be relying on. Like, you don't need Watanabe to have a career year. Right. You need Bradley Beal to play the best basketball he can play. Yeah. And that's a very that's a good shot, right? Like Devin Booker, that's a good shot. You got a good shot with that.
And I'll say this again, I'm gonna bring up the Wizards because that's what I do.
Here you go. This is why they're
2 years ago, Bradley Beal was an all NBA player. Now, I know people don't want to acknowledge that, but he was one of the best 15 players in the league 2 years ago. He was outstanding. He doesn't even have to be that. He just has to be really good.
I think
he can be really good most nights.
Even before that, remember Bradley Beal? This is probably too long ago to summon that. He's probably a different person. But Bradley Beal with John Wall is the Bradley Beal they need.
Yes.
It's the one they need. He defended. He ran the point. He was he was composed. He took smart shots.
Splashed it. Yes.
I was worried about, those 4 dudes are all-stars, but when you see him on the court, it feels daunting.
Yes.
Like when they took the court, it was like, hey, yo, that's a lot of talent.
Right? So him and again, he's going to be the 3rd guy on this team, which is perfect for him. I think temperamentally, I think it's perfect for him. I think in terms of his skill set, it's perfect. He is going to be in attack mode. He doesn't have to do any, he's not being thought of as a franchise level guy, so I think he can just hoop. And Brad's great at hooping, man. He's a really good player. So
he's good.
again, to me, it just comes down to injuries, and you're betting on guys. Well, defenses, yes, but they're going to score so many points. I don't know how much defense they have to play. Like, think about seriously. We said Dame and Giannis are good for 60. Well, now you got 3 dudes good for 90. You know what I'm saying? We got 90 out of these 3 every night.
Still, when they went up against Denver, though, it wasn't the guarantee. That's what I'm saying. Like, you got to be able to stop somebody.
That's true. The
level they're going to, they're going to have to be able to stop somebody. That's going to be Bradley Beal. Like, if you look at this squad, who's guarding Steph Curry? Like, who's guarding Damian Lillard? Like, that's Beal. It's got to be Beal. There's nobody else. It's got to be Beal. I mean, maybe you could say Josh Okogie, but then if you're playing against another great team, they got another dude who's guarding Jamal Murray, right? Like,
right.
So
and they're going to play.
And they're going to that question.
And they're going to leave Josh Okogie open all night.
Absolutely, who's guarding? If Bradley Beal can like hold his own, then they'll be just fine.
Yes, I think he's got a shot. I think Phoenix has a real shot.
If you're banking on Bradley Beal and Devin Booker being great, you're fine. You're in a good position.
I agree.
That's a pretty good position to be in.